Hello, my dears. Daniela here, and welcome to the Spa Marketing Made Easy podcast. This episode is brought to you by Atto Aesthetics, the #1 coaching company for spa industry professionals who want to step into the role of spa CEO. And today we have a great interview with an incredible spa CEO and winner of the $10,000 grant provided by Atto Aesthetics in partnership with the Liberté Foundation for Women. Juvy, who also happens to be a Maui girl, and yes, she and I went to the same aesthetic school. Shout out to Spa Luna. And we found out we were even in the same year, 2006, even though it was not the same class. So she's here with us on the podcast, sharing her story of really about the behind the scenes process to get her application done, and also sharing what the grant has enabled her to do in her business. And what I love about Juvy is she's just like you and me, and she decided to put herself out there using her kids as such a big motivator, and it totally paid off. So I loved being able to connect with her, hear her story, and I'm so excited to share it with you. So let me go ahead and read her bio, and then we will play that interview. Okay, so Juvy is a mom of two. She's got a 10-year-old boy and a 12-year-old girl. Her experience as an esthetician includes work both in resorts and full-service salons and day spas, and now she operates her own business. She's also a massage therapist, so she's a licensed esthetician, licensed massage therapist, and she also received her bachelor's degree in elementary education from the University of Hawaii, Manoa. She's taught 22 years in the Hawaii public schools and is currently a resource teacher mentoring first and second year teachers. So she's an incredible, incredible woman, and I hope you enjoy this interview. All right, Juvy, welcome to the Spa Marketing Made Easy podcast. I'm so excited I found out before the show that we went to the same aesthetic school, Spa Luna, both in 2006 graduates. So, I mean, maybe we passed each other going up and down that road. Who knows?
I know. Yeah, very, very interesting and exciting. And I'm so glad to be here, Daniela. Thank you.
Yes. So you were our most recent grant winner of the Freedom in Action grant. That's the grant that myself and Andrea put together. She has the Liberté Foundation for Women. We committed $50,000 to her organization to spread out across the beauty industry. We're giving 5 $10,000 grants. You were number 3, and we still have 2 more to go. So I wanted to bring you on to kind of share your story, share your experience, really encourage other people to, put the work in. It's like we ask you to film a short video and then get people to vote on it. And so however long that took you got you $10,000, but it's like you have to get over that fear of putting yourself out there on social media or whatever it may be. Because there are options. There are lots of other companies that are offering grants and different ways to help women in business, help, aesthetic professionals to really get that jump start that they need, because entrepreneurship takes money, right?
It definitely does. And so, I've listened to you for a while. I knew that you're from Maui. And so all of your podcasts was so educational for me. Basically every little tip that you put on the podcast, I would implement. Okay. I did not have the budget to go onto your club yet, but I definitely would take in and soak in every Monday. I would look for your podcast. I mean, yesterday I just listened to your imaging podcast, and I was wow, I need that.
It's for amazing.
Baseline. Yeah. Yes, baseline data. And so back in, I believe, episode 244 with Andrea Klein. Mm-hmm. You did an interview with her being a solo esthetician, and she retired herself. I'm like,
after 18 months.
After 18 months, I was just like, what an inspiring story. So I kept that in the back of my head, as I listened to it. 18 months, how in the world did she do that? So I would listen, and several, weeks or months later, another inspiring story came through with another podcast with Sonia Altamura. She's a skin lady expert.
Yeah.
And
she was just at we invited her to our Spa CEO intensive. So she's awesome.
She is so awesome. And so I followed her, I want to be able to be following these like-minded, just super intelligent, inspiring women. And so she had posted a video of her, her hardships being a single mom. I'm a single mom. Being a single mom, she started in this apartment, things happen in her life. And so then she, not that she was bragging or anything. It was an inspiring story. She posted a photo of her current house right now. And then she put a push for the grant. So that was really how I found out about the Liberté Foundation grant. And I was thinking to myself, like, wow, that's in 2 days. I can't put out a
you
video.
found out that quick.
Yes, it was towards the ending of November. I can't put out, it was a busy time with my DOE teaching schedule. And so I was talking to a girlfriend and she's like, you put out so many videos online with your social media, just put your skills to the work, I said, it's in 2 days. I can't do it. And she's like, do it. I have my kids' activities. And so I said, okay, I'll just try it. It doesn't hurt to try. And so I did go ahead. It was busy. It was 6:00 in the evening, got my kids to bed, cooked them dinner. And it was literally due 2 days from there. And I said, I need to get this done. I need some footage of my bed. And I'm looking at my bed because I'm in my treatment room.
I remember seeing the video of you like turning
Yes.
the thing. I was like, oh, wow.
So
but it told the story,
Yes. Well, that was really what I wanted. Like I had to dig deep into like, how am I going to use this $10,000? Well, long term, I need to be able to save myself. I'm approaching 50 soon. So I need to save my back.
My goodness.
48. So I'm just like, I want to be able to be in this business for a long time. So shoulders, back, I said, I need that electric table. And for the comfort of my clients, since they always want to prop the head part a little bit higher so that they don't feel so flat and dizzy. So at about 9:30, I remember driving to my office. I said, I need to film this, put my kids to bed, film it. And, I wasn't prepared. The phone kept flopping. I didn't have the device to film it because I wanted a certain angle where I can film myself, undoing the manual table. I said, oh, what the heck, just do it. And so I was able to capture a little bit. And so then I went home at 11 o'clock at night. Well, I was ready to go to bed, but then I had to kind of put makeup on, get myself ready to film the video and tell my story. So I was finally done at like midnight. And so the next day I sent it to you or sent it to Instagram or however.
I love that it's like, it wasn't perfect, but it was real. And it really told the story. And, there were who submitted, I don't know if you ever saw her video. They have Meta Aesthetique. She did this whole rap. She did this whole,
yes.
a production.
Yes.
She spent hours and hours on that. And bless her, she has submitted every single time, submitted an entry.
Uh-huh.
And, but it's like you vote to win, right? We select, so it's like my team and the Liberté Foundation board of directors. We each select, I think, 8 finalists. And then we put them together and we see what overlaps. And then we finally agree on who the finalists are. And then those get voted on. And so it's a lot of like, I'm like, I don't want the responsibility of that part. You guys decide. And I think that people really connected with just your authenticity and the realness of the video. Like it was a really beautiful video.
Thank you. I have a pretty loyal clientele. I'm kind of emotional right now because I know they've just been supporting me. I've been in the business for a long time. They know, 2006 is when I graduated and I've been doing this part-time. And so I've had a lot of my clients from when they were really young. They're college, graduated, have kids, and then I had their parents as well. I mean, it's a small community, in Maui. It's a word of mouth is everything, the ohana, the concept. And they know my ups and downs in life. And I just want to thank them because it's like I put it out there. They shared it with their friends and some of their family members that have never seen me. They just posted it. I mean, social media is great. So winning that was really my clientele and family and friends that just supported me. Knowing that I'm a single mom, I think, I accommodate their schedule whenever, just drop off my kids, come back to work, and so I'm thankful for and grateful for my clientele. And of course, you and the Liberté Foundation grant for giving me this opportunity and the other upcoming, you said I'm number 3. So
you're number 3. There's 2 more. Yeah, 2 more to go. But I definitely think we're going to find a way to keep this going because it just feels so good to be able to impact our industry in this way. So tell me, you said before that it came at kind of like the perfect timing. So you've been doing this part-time and then how did the timing work? Because you had kind of cut down your teaching schedule, right?
Yes. I had cut down. Being a single mom, I needed to craft my schedule in a way that would work for my kids. As a teacher, you're literally, it's a full day, Monday to Friday, sometimes ending later. So I had the bravery to ask for a halftime position and they granted it. And so then with that, knowing that I'll be in the treatment room a lot more, I had to up my game a little bit and just hustle more and, build my clientele. And so this came at a perfect time because then utilizing the money added value to my treatments. And so, like I said, a lot of my clients needed the table to be propped up. If I'm going to stay in this business for a long time, I needed a great table that I'm able to just press the button, manually go up to the desired height that I want. I do waxing. So with waxing, you need it a little bit higher. So my turnover in terms of clientele is much faster now because now I just undo the sheets, put it in a hamper and then put new one versus going through every table. So
that's huge. Perfect. Yeah. The turnover time when I'm talking with our growth factor clients, we're looking at, do I need to increase price or do I need to decrease turnover time? And oftentimes it'll change the margin significantly more just by decreasing the turnover time. Rather than, when you see the 75 minutes or 90 minutes, I'm like, no, you got to change that. And it changes the margin significantly.
Absolutely. And time is such our commodity, right? Being a single mom, I'm only in here for a duration, a limited time. And so having me lessen that turnover time allows me to get more clients or perform my services. The other part that was, in terms of making every penny work, is thinking about like long-term, I'm only here for an amount of time. And so I wanted to always brand several products with my own skincare. Sometimes now we lose businesses because, you do the consultation, you tell them what's good for their skin based on your skin analysis. And then sometimes they'll say, oh, I'll think about it. And then they'll go, online and buy it. So I wanted to be able to look at my my product line and see what I could supplement. And so there were 2 things that I wanted to brand, and I was able to do that with the grant. And so now there's no way for them to go online and purchase it where they need to come to me or they need to come to Skincare Maui to purchase the 2. And one of the things that I chose was a sunscreen. Tinted sunscreen. As you know, Hawaii banned a couple ingredients. Yes. They're really making it to be, marine safe for our coral reef. And so a lot of the times when I look and analyze my clientele, they want to just be all natural, but yet a little bit with glow and tinted. So the one that I brought in that I branded has been working well for my clientele. I'm really happy. And, it's
wonderful.
It's from the grant that I was able to do it. If not, it's kind of costly to brand your own product. So now my goal is to be able to put a lot of my clients on that so they can come to me and get it and, return on investment.
How long did it take you to map out, like, here's exactly what I want to do with these funds? Because I know, like, you're just from talking to you, I can see you're like, okay, the table is going to be this much. The private label is going to be this much. I'm changing my turnover time. Are you a spreadsheet person? Are you?
I love spreadsheet. I know you are. I can learn a lot more. I'm not really I'm proficient, but not really an expert in terms of the high, the
How
detail.
are you? Yeah. But how are you mapping this out? Like when you're thinking about all of the things, okay, the table, you just knew you wanted to protect your body mechanics,
Mm-hmm.
the sunscreen, you wanted to increase retail sales. What were the other things that you had put on there?
Education.
Education.
Education. I think education is, a big part of growing. And so one of the things that I wanted to do is I haven't gone to the trade show in a long time. And I felt like being in an island, we're not as readily available.
Mm-hmm.
So I saved some of the money to go to the Las Vegas trade show. And
it happened in June.
Yes. Yeah, I just came back from there and it was great. It's good to be around just high energy people who's in the industry because, you want to just up your game. And so I was able to take a microcurrent class. Long term, I'm trying to save up what I can to get either a microcurrent or another one for, a lot of the requests is skin tags and all these minor irregularities, right? So maybe the thermal clear, I'm not sure. So I was able to take those 2 classes and kind of familiarize myself with that. The other thing that I'm really holding out for is an imaging skincare device. And so I'm just like, wow, this is perfect. One of the companies that I have, my main line is, I'm not sure if I can say it online, but.
Oh, yeah, you can. SkinCeuticals.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's SkinCeuticals. They do have a device. So I have to call my rep to see. But just listening to you on Monday when it came out, I was just like, that one
is a great, they're a really cool company. And I tend to like smaller companies that you can work directly with the owners. And I love that high touch, high relationship piece that you get with those smaller companies. And their device is great. It's great.
So I was listening to it and it has all these capabilities of just knowing your skin. And I think, being an educator with the public system, data is huge because a lot of the times you forget, what the skin looks like, or so to present that, it's huge. And so I was thinking, you guys talked about skin age, and I think that's going to be great.
Yours would be 27. All my Filipino friends look 20 years younger than they actually are. I have a girlfriend who's half Filipino, half Indian, and she's 40 and she looks 25. She looks amazing. Amazing. So good skin, good genes. And I'm sure you obviously know how to take care of your skin. Excellent.
I have a lot of sun from my kids being competitive swimmers. We're out in the pool, every other Saturday, pretty much. We were just in Oahu this past weekend, and the amount of sun I had is big glasses, big hat. Everybody's like, I got my wide rim hat.
Estes coming through.
Yeah, exactly. And there were some things that I picked up basically to up the facial. We talk about time. And so a Saluma light panel was one of the ones that I also
Oh,
picked up to
wonderful.
be able
Yeah.
to embed it in my facial so that the quality of the facial is just so much more. Yeah, the grant definitely has helped me a lot. I can't say enough about it because like I said, it was one of those spur of the moment. I watched the video and I'm like, man, I should have edited that. I should have done. There's so many should have, would have, could have. I'm like, English is my second language, and so I'm like, I said that so Filipino-ish. So I'm like, but it is what it is, And so my advice would be, don't overthink it. Just send it through, be authentic, be real, think about what my motivation for everything I do, my kids. So what's the why? What is the why? Why are you doing this? Why are you wanting to? I mean, financially, of course, but really, truly. And so I couldn't spend $1,000 in shipping when I knew that I could spend that on my kids' travel for their competition. Like, I don't want to deny that. And so really think of the why when you're doing the grant writing. That's how I sat down, and that's why I came to the shop at 9:30, because I had to kind of craft my writing script. And so then I knew what I would film and then go home and do it and then send it in.
Because some of the feedback that we've gotten is people are just afraid to put their videos out there, and they're afraid of judgment. They're afraid of, what are people going to think? But it's like, it's people think that everybody is out there watching their videos, and what it's like, half the people don't even see it. And they're not thinking anything. They're not judging you, and if they are, then like, who cares?
Yes.
Who cares? It's a minute in time that you're putting yourself out there, and the reward is so much bigger than the risk, I think.
Yes. I took it more of, I'm doing it for my kids. I did it more for that. And
that removes the pressure off of yourself.
Yes. And the example that I'm showing my kids that, it doesn't hurt to try. There's always lessons in life. And so I told them, hey, I'm doing this video. Mommy needs to go to the shop, at 9:30. And my daughter said, are you going to be okay? It's dark. I said, it's fine, but I need to do it because I need to turn it in. Tomorrow's a busy day. I believe it was Thanksgiving the next day. It was all around that time in November when it was due. And so, they're good kids. They listened, they went to bed, and I stepped out for maybe a good half an hour because I live in Waikapu, which is like 4 minutes away from here. And so I did it, and, didn't hold back about being ashamed of my story. I mean, it is what it is. I'm a single mom raising 2 kids and the hustle and bustle of living here in the island. And, I wouldn't change it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, I'm so glad that you applied. I'm so glad that you did that. And I hope that you celebrated with your kids too. Because what a great
I did. I celebrated with everybody. Everyone that I text message and, whoever on social media, just so thankful for this Maui community, and not just Maui. I mean, I've got, family around nationally too that just supported me, but the clientele I have, they're awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Maui's definitely, it's a community for sure. For sure. Well, I want to just encourage any of you listening that you've been thinking about the grant, we're going to be offering 2 more. Try it out, reapply if you didn't win on one of these previous ones, really ask yourself, how committed are you? Who are you doing this for? If you have kids, if you have whatever your why is, but just take that risk, push yourself out of your comfort zone, And that is where all the magic happens. But we would love to see your video. We would love to have the opportunity to support your business. So we're super, super excited. Juvy, thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm so glad that we were able to help you. It's so nice to be able to connect. And I was like, oh my gosh, a Maui girl won. I was like, I swear I didn't do that. I did. Because I was like, oh man, they're going to think Maui girl picked a Maui girl, but no, it was all your community voted for you. So,
oh yeah, so thankful. Yeah, just word of advice to my fellow esthetician, just do it. Share your story. You don't want to say could have, would have, should have, you know, and if it doesn't come out perfect, it's okay.
It's okay.
My video was not perfect at all, but just do it. Life lesson would be that you don't know until you try. And that's always been kind of my thing,
Mm-hmm.
I won't know until I try. So I did it. And
there you go. You did it.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys so much. Apply for the grant when it comes out. We'll have some details under this episode, but it'll be around November time again. So start getting prepared for that. And we will catch you on the next episode.